Hi, welcome to Light Code Portal. I'm Tanya Griffin. I'm the Dean of Education for Light Language University. I'm here with Anna Noyce. Um, Tonight's topic is going to be Soul's Purpose. We are brought to you by Light Language University and Circle Insights. Hello, Anna. How are you tonight?
Hi, doing well. How about you, Tanya?
Oh, doing great. Here's the day.
Good, good. I am excited about the topic tonight. Soul's purpose, one of the great topic of why we're here.
Yes. Yes. And it's something that many people ponder about and have for centuries.
Yes. Let's start with the questions that people have been asking about and see where we go from there.
Sounds good. So, what would be your definition of soul's purpose? Just the definition of those terms.
Okay, so the basic soul's purpose and how I can describe it is our passion, our greatest passion, or something that we want to fulfill in this lifetime, or something we're looking forward to, or a gift that we bring in from another lifetime, or it can even be finishing some karma, because each one of us are so different, and we are coming in from different dimensions, different planes of existence, and each one of our fingerprints is totally different. Um, we kind of go from there. It is that part of connecting and how we are connected, and stepping in and looking for what we are passionate about or something we want to do. So
Okay.
have you ever gone to the refrigerator? I don't know about you, but have you ever gone to the refrigerator and you're like, and sometimes we just don't know what it is. We're trying to find it and we're trying to look for something, but we don't know what it is. So what happens is you go to the refrigerator and you open it up and you're going, nope, not that. Nope. Let me try that. Nope, that's not it. Because you have this craving for something. So I always look at something that I'm going to step into as a passion or something I want to create, and I want to bring this out into the world. And once you find what satisfies your hunger, you get excited and you start to step into that. So, soul's purpose is all about learning how we show up and what we want to create in the world and the universe.
Okay. So, in saying that and how it fits into what we want to create into the universe, how would a normal, just everyday person say the soul's anatomy? How does that fit into the framework of things?
Well, that's a good question. So we're looking at the monad that we teach this in Light Language University. It's 102, I believe, that we teach this.
Mhm.
And so we have all these existences that are parallel past, present, and future. And from each existence, from that soul anatomy, we're bringing in aspects of ourselves and things that we want to experience. So it isn't just one thing that's limited. Since we're multidimensional, we're connected on so many levels, and we're bringing that energy in and connecting and having those experiences as we co-create in the universe. So the anatomy plays a really an amazing, and in 102 we talk about the anatomy and how it opens up and how portals will open up depending on life lessons, depending on soul agreements and soul contracts that we also create and have pre-birth or during, while we're living and collapsing time. So it's quite exciting to be in these wonderful multi-level beings in these bodies.
Yes.
So
So, in saying that, would you say that all souls are created with the concept of having a purpose or not?
yes. Well, actually, yes, we do have a reason why we come down here and if that's not just if it's just to experience life, to see what it's like. So, third dimension is one of the lower dimensions that we actually enjoy hanging out with. That is not too dark or goes beyond something um, from this experience of 3D. So we get to come in here, we get to have that experience of, I think about it, we're eating, we're just experiencing life, getting to be connected. And then again, we're also connected on that levels of consciousness that we talk about in light language. And
Right.
and so yeah, it's really about experience.
Right. And that's part of the purpose of Light Language University, is to help people learn about those different levels and how they're all interconnected, correct?
Yes. Yes, it is. We do have a lot of fun, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No.
but again, we also go back to the human fingerprint and we're looking at the monad. So each one's showing up, each person, it's not the same. It depends on what's happening on those other multi-levels of the universe and how they're showing up to have those particular purposes that they want to create.
Okay. All right. So in with that, let's talk a little bit about soul contracts and soul agreements and what those are, and if they really exist, because some
Oh,
people question
they do. They do really exist because, and it's hard to, I think the thing that people, when they're talking about contracts, are they want to change the contracts. But I was actually teaching a workshop last weekend, and it was kind of fun. You can't change who you are when you come in. You're going to be male or female. I mean, we can through other things, but we really do choose before we come in. We choose our parents. We choose how we're going to come in, and those are our contracts. And there's certain things in our lifetime that we want to experience, so we add it in. So you could say part of it is our passion. We're going to be these great architects, or we're going to be president, or we're going to do something, be a teacher and help to influence, and help to educate. So all these things we do kind of add in, and that's part of our purpose. And we do have some beautiful, we talked about spirit guides that come in. In my own experience, I had golden beings that showed up and said, "You're not doing this is not what it's about." So I had to step up and start saying, okay, what is this about? What is life really about? And what was my purpose? So
Okay.
yeah, so that's a contract. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Can you just give us kind of the definition of the difference between a contract and an agreement?
So a contract is something we do pre-birth with our family, friends, and kind of write out what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. Agreements happen during our experience on the physical plane. And there's something that we just want to add into that experience. So sometimes they can be negative, they can be positive, we can get caught up in loops. We can change those. Contracts you really can't change, because it really is about how people are learning and how we're all together in that collective mind and group consciousness. The individual consciousness is more participating on that soul agreement.
Okay. So it's kind of one of those things with your soul contract. It is an experience that you wanted to have, something you wanted to learn, to come here, and no matter how much you might want to decide to change it when you get here just because you didn't like it, it's necessary. Pretty
Yes,
much. Correct?
it is.
Necessary.
And
Okay.
I think what I want to say, add this one thing. What we forget is we're not just participating in the world as an individual. We're participating on 4 levels of consciousness, as one, which is the creator, God, source, as the collective mind of all of us that creates what we define as water or cup, or, how we define the world, because we all see that and we all agree. And then we have the groups, which we're a part of, our families, friends, and all the people that we are connected with. And then we have the individual. So it's a little bit more complicated that with those types of with contracts and agreements. So yeah.
Okay. So what happens when we achieve our purpose? Do we pass on? Do we live out the rest of our life? I mean, what happens?
Right. No, exactly. Well, and so that also steps into, if we're looking at soul contracts, we have one contract after another. So depending if you finished out, and you may have several different things that you're going to accomplish during this lifetime. If you have soul agreements, that can be broken. So that's something you just kind of added in, and it's something that you're just experiencing. We do this all on the subconscious mind. We're really not thinking, oh, that's something I want to experience. But then, there's other things that we do accomplish, but no, it doesn't end when you have your soul purpose. There are other things that blossom out. So think of the flower of life, which is circle upon circle upon circle, and it just continues to grow. It's really kind of like that. We're continually building and creating things as we go along. So it's a beautiful process.
Okay. So in this process, how does karma fit in with the soul's purpose?
Ah, yes. Well, see, and karma from other lifetimes will come in. And we've even run in at the university, we've actually run into future lifetimes that are going backwards and bringing things that we're trying to iron out or figure out and help with that, because karma works on all levels. It's multi-level. So it just kind of adds, you might want to say it adds flavor to what we're doing. And again, karma is not a bad thing. It's just a lesson. And as we learn these lessons and we're having fun, and not all purposes are fun. We always think a lot of them are fun and we're excited about it, but some of them take us through experiences that we're learning how to withstand or to step in our power and teach us about ourselves.
Right.
So it can be bigger, yeah, than that.
Okay. So in talking about that, could you give us examples of what a soul purpose may be for somebody who's incarnating for the first time in this 3D arena?
I love that question.
Somebody that's coming back for the million.
Well, you don't realize it, but you just had a trick question. Because it goes back to the monad, and it also goes back to the human fingerprint and where that person is coming from and what that person has already experienced in other lifetimes on other planes and existences, and what they're bringing in that is influencing the karma. So a being or a person who comes in, or a spirit that comes in and has a body, may have experienced many different levels than somebody else that's come in. So each one's different. Again, it's like the human fingerprint. It's going to be geared to that person on what they bring in. But I like the question.
Okay. And this is something that it is, you hear a little bit about now, it's gaining a little traction. What is soul sickness?
Soul sickness. I wrote about this in my book, and I go back to the refrigerator where you just don't know what it is, and you just keep going, and your soul start to ache. You start feeling almost pain because you're not doing what your life's purpose is calling. So it really is kind of a calling that you need to step in, and once you step into the calling, it's almost like a hot bath, after a big day of being in the garden or running a race, and you're just kind of like, oh no, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And everything starts to come in, synchronicities start to happen and fall into place. Before that, we have accidents, as spirits trying to help us, or our self, our own higher self. There might be accidents, or there might be something that's kind of tripping us up to get us to go in that direction. and then we have all the synchronicities that kind of put it into place, and it's like, and if you're like me, again, those golden beings showed up in my bedroom saying, you're just not getting this. I had soul sickness. They're like, let's tell you what it's about. So, but yes, we do have purpose why we're here.
And if we don't have that purpose, then that's when the soul sickness comes in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's amazing how quickly we do heal from that feeling of we need to do something. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it's very important.
So, in speaking of the monad, do all personalities that are connected to one monad share the similar purpose?
Yes and no. So that's a very good question. So let's go back to the monad. The original part of us is spirit. Then it breaks out into 12 oversouls. Then it breaks out into 12. Each one of those break out into 12, which is 144 different lifetimes that we're experiencing, past, present, and future, all at once, which is kind of exciting on and parallel lives. So some of them, yes, they are experiencing on different levels at different times. They might have the same purpose. You may, let's say that you want to be a piano player. And so you're a piano player here on earth, but you may also be a music, you may be creating music in the Acturians, or you may be commuting wherever, another lifetime somewhere else, or in a parallel universe. It could be also here in America or in China, you're a piano player. So wherever, yes, yes, we can. Mhm.
Okay. So, how does spirit help us to achieve our purpose?
They're amazing because we have those beautiful guides. And so, again, kind of guiding us a little bit, bringing those synchronicities in. Again, the visitations, dreams. A lot of times we'll dream about it, giving us a little nudge, feeling that love or compassion for something and recognizing it, and feeling that energy around us. So we know in our light language, we have this incredible language, not only in verbal, but also in our energy fields, outside and inside. So 30% of who we are as a spirit is inside our body, and the other 70% is outside in our aura. So these beings can come into our aura and help to kind of very lovingly nudge us toward that direction. Now, are we listening? Not all the time. Sometimes we don't want to hear it. It's like, no, 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 or it's something that we're afraid to step into our power, or afraid to step into what we were here to accomplish as our purpose. So again, that's when other beings and other people will come in and surround, and help that person step in and create what they need to create. But we, again, it's think about the collective and the group mind of consciousness. So that group consciousness is part of it too, as we help each other step into that.
Right. Okay. So, how can a soul purpose here in the 3D or in Earth prepare us for a role on the other side?
Well, good question. I don't know that it prepares us. What it seems to do is it gives us an opportunity. So think of Shakespeare when he said, "All the world's a play." We really are. We are putting on costumes. We're being these beings and having this experience. And I don't know that it prepares us for the other side, but it does allow us to have that experience to maybe and I think that's where you're going and preparing. It allows us to have that particular experience, and then we can step into something else that we may choose in another universe or another dimension, or however, or come back. So I think that's where you were going with that question.
Well, and you could even flip it maybe and say, how does the other side prepare us for our purpose on Earth?
Absolutely. So yes, again, we have this beautiful support system, not only, and I think we forget, and this is something that's going on in the world right now. It's not only just the spirits and the beings and the 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 way we connect, but it is also how we connect to each other. So that group, again, the group consciousness that we're connected to on that individual, and again that collective of how we connect and how we support each other as we all move through different things, but yet we just can't ever disconnect from that. It influences us on many levels.
So then everybody that is here and that is working on their soul's purpose, then would you say their guides, that's part of what their guides job is, to come in and help them to achieve that purpose?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Very well put. Yes.
All right. Well, I think that is all of the questions that we have tonight. Um, so before we leave, I wanted to let everybody know that we have a special light code portal coming up on May the 29th at 7:30, and please tune in. It's going to be awesome. Anna, Jeannie, and myself will be in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, which is a very historic and very haunted town. Elizabeth will be our moderator. We will be coming to you from 3 separate locations in Eureka Springs, and our topic for the night will be spirit rescue, since it is such a historic and haunted location. Also, we have our next workshop coming up will be Light Language 101, and that will take place on June the 15th and 16th on Zoom. So please check our website for that. We also have a in-person workshop coming up July the 24th and 25th at Miracles of Joy in Louisville, Texas. And we ask that if you want to in-person with Anna teaching, that would be a perfect time for you to sign up. You can see our website for registration. And last but not least, you can watch Anna speak live at the the Holistic Festival of Light in Plano, Texas, at the Event Center on July the 10th. Come out and see us. Jeannie, myself, Anna will be there, possibly Elizabeth, and Anna will also be speaking on light language while we're there. So please join us at that time. And we thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Love and light to all. Thank you.
Namaste.